Cheers.
Yeah. And just so you know, you have the red one, I have the green one. I will always be the Green Ranger if you're in the room. So you have to be the Red Ranger.
Okay.
You know that? Like, every time Tommy leveled up to the White Ranger, I was like, I'm the White Ranger now. You can have green only when the white's not available. But then when I wasn't around, you're guaranteed to be whatever Ranger you wanted. Whatever Ranger you wanted.
Got it.
Yeah, that's kind of the rules around me. I get to pick the character first. So welcome back.
Welcome back to Your Retro Bros TV.
Your Retro Bros TV. V.
I am Gio, the dude. Welcome, everyone.
I'm the good homie Gus, also known as Customer Service, Mikey's Papa. And like Gio said, this is Your Retro Bros TV. And let's start off with, it is AAPI month.
It is AAPI month. Yes.
So we methodically put out AAPI characters prominent in our culture. We'll start to the right, John. Introduce.
We got Voltes 5 here.
Voltes 5, people will say is equivalent to the Filipino Voltron or Transformers.
Right.
It was actually banned, wasn't it? Did you hear about that?
No.
It was banned because it was popular during the Marcos reign in the Philippines, and they banned it.
Wow.
Because it showed a lot of like revolution and revolting. So they didn't want that. So they banned this cartoon.
Interesting.
Yeah.
But see, knowing how people think, that just made people want it more.
Yeah.
Right?
And that's the 50-year anniversary. Shout out to my mom. I am well in my 40s, and my mom still buys me toys for Christmas. Shout out to moms that know what their sons want and just get the shit anyways, even though it's expensive. She bought that in the Philippines and hand carried it over for your boy. So shout out to my mom.
And you mentioned it, Voltes 5.
Voltron.
Sorry,
Voltron. This is actually a gift from the homie Rue Tor. So shout out to Rue. This is a Super 7. Super 7 is a San Francisco company. I remember Super 7 from it being on Hate. And then this is a Super 7 figure, glow in the dark, super cool. Gift from the homie. Anything that glows in the dark is gonna get a win in my book. And this Voltron, man, all over the place. Do you know who the middle guy is?
Jey Uso?
Jey Uso! Can we do one? Can we do it for camera? Yeet. Yes. Jey Uso. Frosted mini yeets. This is a gift from my homie Andy. I love you, Andy. That's my son's godfather. I'm the godfather to their kids, and he went to WrestleMania, and all I got was a box of cereal. He went to WrestleMania, and all I got was a box of cereal.
It's pretty awesome, though.
Yeah.
It's pretty awesome, though.
I'm really thinking if I should open it, because I don't know how smart it is for me to leave food in a bag that I'm never gonna get rid of this box. I don't think. And I don't want the cereal to suck.
Right.
But Jey Uso, he has one of the most engaging and electrifying entrances. He has a great run of being a WWE wrestler with his brother. He has the family line, the bloodline that he belongs to. Dude, this AAPI month, we're hitting home runs today, guys.
And then we got Batista. Or for some of you who knows him as Drax.
Yes.
From Guardians of the Galaxy. There we go.
Guardians of the Galaxy was such a undercover group. Like it was one of those Marvel things that came up, and it kind of had the freedom to do what it wanted. Because Guardians wasn't really like the Avengers or the Fantastic Four or X-Men, to where you had to really stick to the storyline. Right. Because there wasn't, not that I am aware of, there wasn't a big Guardians like beehive. right?
Not that I'm aware of either.
No Guardians hype.
Honestly, when I went to the first Guardians movie, I was not expecting a whole lot because, again, like you said, it's not a main cast of characters that everyone knows.
Yeah.
So, but I really enjoyed all the Guardians movies.
Yes.
So
yes, and the cast itself was solid. Bradley Cooper was.
Oh no, Chris Pratt.
Rocket.
Oh,
is that Bradley Cooper?
I'm not sure.
Okay, we think it's Bradley Cooper. But
correct us in the comments.
Yeah. Chris Pratt though, yes, I love Chris Pratt and what he brings to cinema. He's in a lot of stuff. He's in the Jurassic Park movies. He was great on Parks and Rec. But yeah, Star-Lord, amazing. Zoe Saldana, one of the hottest blue chicks, and she's a green chick in this one. She's pretty, you know what I mean? Shout out to the hot blue chicks, hot green chicks, man. She got it. She's hitting it out the park.
Definitely.
And then Vin Diesel. Damn, he's so paid.
Right, for saying 3 words. I am
Groot.
Oh, wait.
There's one word.
Yeah, but we're not spoiling that. We're not spoiling that.
If you haven't watched Guardians, you're sleeping. Guardians is a great franchise. Bautista, half Filipino, hence the name. But in the actual spelling of the last name, we're missing the U. But Bautista, I don't know if he's the first. He probably is the first WWE/WWF heavyweight champion. So me in wrestling, I love wrestling. So he holds a hierarchy when it comes to representation because he had the flag tattooed on him. He also had a weird tattoo around his belly button. We're not going to talk about that though. But it's hard not to notice because the back part of this box is staring at me. And it's going to be staring at me the whole time.
Video.
Yeah, sorry. I'm not looking at you. I'm looking at this.
He's distracted.
Shout out to Bautista, man. Joe, and please, Gio, please.
Our Monster High, Manananggal.
Woo.
It's amazing. I still can't get over the fact that it just looks great.
Yeah. And
the fact that they really packaged it so well that it highlights why they're called Manananggal. If you don't know what that means, this is a type of monster in Filipino folklore that actually will detach itself from its lower half, sprout wings in order to go feed off of the firstborn of people.
Oh, our culture is lovely and disgusting at the same time. That is disgusting.
And the rules are kind of very distinct, which is kind of interesting.
Hey, guess what? Your firstborn got it.
Right.
That sucks. But Manananggal, Monster High, Mattel did this. I did a little video and Gio helped me put it together. It is very well thought of. Even around the border of the side of the box, there's bamboo and it's so put together. And
they have
I love it.
Newspaper clippings and just little fun detail and lore that's all over the box.
Yeah.
Definitely check out the Good Homie Gus's Instagram.
Boom.
For the full video of the Manananggal doll and more tidbits about it. You'll be able to see better shots of it, but it was great. It was great to see this doll being made.
And I
didn't see it made, but see it here is what I mean.
The unboxing of it, but this is just a piece of what our heritage is as far as AAPI. We're recording it now. I don't know when we're going to release it to you, but this is something we love our culture, right? I can say I'm very proud to be Filipino. I love my culture. I'm very aware of my space and the privilege that I have of being who I am and knowing my place. So always want to be sure that I'm representing and I'm showing love because this early on, just backpedaling something we talked about, this having this much representation on the table, and this doesn't even cover what we really see is showing how much more prominent the Filipino culture is raising in like cinema and like media and like all like just being more aware of who Filipinos are.
Exactly.
Right?
Exactly. Especially growing up where, we didn't really hear much other than our family. There was not a lot of like Filipino representation in media growing up like there is now, which is, it's amazing to see. And again, it does fill you with a sense of pride, knowing that this is your culture and you see it here in mainstream media. People enjoy it. People like these pop culture references, wrestlers, toys that, because we are a big fan of toys. And then to see here, because, we grew up with, a lot of action figures that didn't represent us.
Yeah.
So...
Hence, that's why I was, who was I? I said, I was Tommy. I was the Green Power Ranger if the white one wasn't available. And why was the white one the ultimate ranger, bro? I don't know. But yes, it's, and Gio brought up a thing he wanted to talk about. And I'm gonna kind of like go back and forth. So with that, we'll bring up three important Filipino figures in like media or any kind of space. Three important. You could pick your three, and then I'll pick my three.
Okay.
Sound good?
Sure.
Did you want to start, or did you?
I'll let you start.
Okay. So first one. Filipino figure, I would have to say very important to me was Ernie Reyes Jr. As far as representation to me, that's the earliest. That's the earliest I remember. He was in he was in The Last Dragon. There's a scene where there's a big brawl and he's actually fighting his father. Ernie Reyes Sr. I think he's from the Bay Area. I could be wrong. I think he's from the Bay Area. He also had a show called Sidekicks, which was short-lived, on where he was like a kid in high school that a kid in grade school that rode a skateboard, and he helped a white cop solve murders or catch bad guys. That was really cool. He was in one of the illest franchise movies ever, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, and also Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 2, where he played himself. In one, he was one of the turtles. I forget which one. I think Leo or Donatello.
I'm not sure.
I'm not sure if he was Mikey, but he was he was one of the turtles. And then in the second one, he played a person called Kino, which was a pizza delivery guy. That also became like a comrade of the Turtles,
right? If you must,
and he was great. Shout out to Ernie Reyes Jr. Man, that's definitely one of my top 5 dead or alive Filipinos.
There you go.
Top 5. Yours?
My earliest has to be Dante Bosco as Rufio in Hook.
Boom.
So
people were mad that movie came out because Peter Pan should have never grew up in some people's eyes. But that was such a great movie. That's a toast to Dante Bosco.
Dante Bosco.
Also, I think from Pittsburgh, California.
There you go.
Yeah, Dante Bosco. That was a great call out. The Hook is a great movie.
Mm-hmm. And honestly, like, I grew up with him in different shows as well. Like, admittingly, I was a Disney kid, so one of the things that I watched was American Dragon, Jake Long. He was the voice of Jake Long, the main character.
He was early on being a voisover.
Voice actor, yes.
Voice actor, yeah. He was early on that. He was in Fresh Prince as one of Ashley Banks' boyfriends.
Right.
Yeah.
And then he was in that movie, The Debut, right?
Yep. Right? I seen that at the movie theater. I paid to watch that one. I have like 2 DVDs around here that I borrowed from someone that never made it back to them. No one has a DVD player, but I have DVD still.
There you go. He was also more recently, he was Zuko from Avatar: The Last Airbender. He was the voice of Zuko.
Okay, there was a movie, and this is the cartoon, right?
Right. He was the voice for the cartoon. So, and I thought that was pretty cool.
Yeah, very much so.
So he has a lot of accolades. He was in a lot of things you may not recognize him from, but the good homie Gus said, he got into voice acting pretty early. So
he was in the Goofy movie. I think I mentioned this last time in a video. I mentioned this last time in the video we'll never see air. He was in the Goofy movie as one of the kids saying, "Stacy, talk to me, baby." And he says that was not a freestyle, but that was not on the script. And that's from Jodeci, Come and Talk to Me.
Oh, okay.
So shout out to Jodeci, one of my favorite boy bands of all time.
Shout out to the Goofy movie.
It's making a real resurgence.
Mm-hmm.
I got a homie at work. Shout out to Will. He wears a power line.
Power line, yes.
He wears a power line shirt every week, and I look at him like, "Yo, do laundry, dog." It's laundry day. It's laundry day. Run it back, Will.
And talk about a soundtrack that hit hard.
Yeah.
The two songs from Power Line in that movie, a lot of people still remember, and as soon as they hear it, it triggers memories of Goofy movie.
There was a popcorn bucket of Power Line that was available most recently at Disneyland.
Oh.
So they seen the trend of how popular it got, and then what they're doing is they're like, "Oh yeah, let's regurgitate some of this stuff." And
yeah, I mean, it's their IP. Might as well, right? And make some money off of it again.
You know what? I'm gonna be honest. I haven't seen the Goofy movie sitting down, watching it like a whole sit through. I have yet to watch it in one sit down. I've watched it and I finished it in different increments of my life, but yeah, that's a movie to where it's like, it's weird because I'm seeing the impact and I was like, oh yeah, I remember that part. Goofy movie's great. Mm-hmm. Oh, okay. My next Filipino most recognizable. Oh, and this is a deep cut because not people would know this. There was a TV show called Fantasy Island, right? There's a TV show called Fantasy Island. There was this Filipino guy, I think it was Filipino and French. Definitely French, but he's definitely Filipino. I don't know if he's mixed or if he was raised there. His name on the show was Tattoo. The plane, boss, the plane.
Oh,
that guy from Fantasy Island is Filipino.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Did not know that one.
Yeah, that's a deep cut. So Tattoo from Fantasy Island.
There you go.
I found that out later. I knew he was Filipino later. I didn't know at the time, but shout out to the internet. You start Googling famous Filipinos. If you haven't done that, Google famous people in your culture. I do it all the time. But Tattoo pulled up.
Okay.
That was a deep cut.
Right. I was
the plane, boss, the plane.
Wow.
And that's all he's known for. But he was the biggest part of the show.
The earliest form of a meme before it was known as a meme.
Yeah. That's something that would be said at school whenever if you're at recess and a plane just flies by. The plane, boss, the plane. If you didn't say that, you're not an 80s or 90s kid. 80s.
It was more of an 80s kid.
Yeah. I'm old. Okay.
We're old.
Yeah. We're old now. It's fine.
Old. We're all, yeah. We're grown up.
Yeah.
We're grown up.
What's your number 2? Number 2. Who does number 2 work for? Who does number 2 work for?
I gotta say, one of the things that kind of caught on with me early on, as especially with Filipinos, we like to really enjoy family time, and karaoke is one of the great pastimes. But comedy is also another thing where, especially for me growing up, a lot of the Filipino movies that my parents would rent were comedies.
Filipino movies, renting Filipino movies
Right.
still? Oh, okay, come on.
Renting Filipino movies,
Come
the
on, Gio.
VHS tapes,
Come on, Gio.
Garlic Peanuts.
Oh, God. Nagaraya Cracker Nuts.
Nagaraya Cracker Nuts, yes. Chicharron and Chicharron Batuka for those of you who don't know, that's actually pig intestine.
Or they'll call it Chicharron Bulaklak.
Right, because
Bulaklak.
depending
It looks
on
like Like a flower.
Right, depending on how you prepare it, when you throw it in there and it fully fries up, it looks almost like a flower.
Or a butthole. Depends how it's fried and how big it is. It could look like either or. I'm not saying you're a kid, you were like, that's butthole. They're eating butthole. It's good with vinegar though. It's good with
vinegar and garlic rice.
So from that, watching Filipino TV and movies, VHS is probably at that time, right?
Right, VHS.
Who would be the guy or female for you?
Well, the thing is, and I don't know whether or not America knows or mainstream media knows him, but Dolphy.
I knew exactly who you were gonna when you were drawing the picture for me. I was like, he's gonna say Dolphy. Shout out to Dolphy.
Shout out to Dolphy. May he rest in peace.
Rest in peace. Rest in peace.
But he brought a lot of laughter, joy to a lot of different families. His movies were great growing up. I still remember him. I still use some of those jokes to make my grandmother laugh.
Oh.
So that's the thing that, like, growing up, that's been a key figure in media for me as far as like Filipino. Whether or not that already hit here and that knowledge hit here of him as an actor in the Philippines. But I know if I mentioned Dolphy or a Dolphy movie to like other family or other friends, Filipino friends' families, like they'll immediately light up. So that was like the immediate in for me to be liked by the other Filipino families, is knowing the culture, knowing that Dolphy was a great comedian, a great actor. So that's my number 2.
80s and 90s, 80s, I would say 80s to early or mid 90s, the VHS game for renting movies that were renting Filipino movies and was a way to get tapped back in to what's happening for our parents back home. Right. That was their way of like, oh, let's see the newest Sharon Cuneta movie. Right.
Right.
Or let's see the newest my mother likes Fernando Po. Yeah. Those are names like Fernando Po is someone I know now because of my mother-in-law, but definitely Dolphy that was a great one. My father-in-law has a picture with him. Oh, yes.
There you go.
Yeah. Dolphy's he's a great. Right. If there's not a statue of him in the Philippines, there should be soon. We can sign a petition. We'll do one at ceremony. We'll get a Dolphy statue in ceremony.
It'd be great if we could get a Dolphy statue in ceremony. That'd be kind of interesting. Right in the middle of Fogtown.
Yeah. On the fountain, bro. On the fountain.
Oh, that would be great.
Let me see. My third one. Damn, Dolphy was a good one. That was a deep cut. My third one. Who should I go to? Okay, I'm gonna say as far as, and this person had a global impact of what the Filipino culture is, and being sure it's represented in sports media, and that's Manny Pacquiao.
There you go.
Manny Pacquiao. Your uncles, your older cousins, your parents will, if you were to ask them, how was it like when prime Manny
was still in the ring,
and then they would having a potluck or having a party at someone's house because of the Pacquiao. Oh, we're going to someone's house for the Pacquiao fight. That wasn't just we're going there, we're ordering a pizza. It was going to my friend's house that held, like their family's house that held like Pacquiao fights. It was like a second Christmas. Like the amount of food, the amount of generational Filipinos under one house, all huddled around one TV was a big deal. Yeah. He was, I think, one of the first full Filipino Nike athletes. Mm-hmm. And Filipinos love Nike. We love Nike. We love it. It's annoyingly love it. Don't look in my garage. Don't look in my closet. We love it. And for him to have, he had a signature shoe. He had his own gear. There was a wave of during this Manny Pacquiao movement to where, if people remember in like the 80s, 90s, there was Bo Nose. That was Bo Jackson. Bo Nose because he was a dual sport athlete. When it was Manny Pacquiao, and Bo was a Nike athlete. Nike athlete. When it was Manny Pacquiao, there was a shirt that you could buy at Nike Town that said Ninong Knows, and I was the fact that there was Ninong on like Nike gear, and there was like the hats you could buy with the Filipino flag. It became a thing. Like it became a real thing, and I think because of Manny, because how he would come. He'd be allowed to throw the first pitch to a lot of baseball games. Baseball teams started incorporating the Filipino night in their scheduled events to bring Filipinos out. And I think a big piece of that was because Manny Pacquiao would be a celebrity, be at the game, he'd be invited to throw the first pitch. So people knew if Manny was coming, the Filipinos going to show up for their dude. And then if you made it a whole Filipino day, even more so. You know what I mean? People, even more so. So for me, that undoubtedly goes to Manny Pacquiao. Undoubtedly.
No, I 100% agree. I remember even being in Arizona where there's not a huge Filipino community, but there is a Filipino community out there. And for some of his fights, they would all show up for parties. We would hear about like parties that, or be invited to parties in Arizona to come and hang out because, you know, it was the
Pacquiao fight.
Yeah.
It was a Pacquiao fight.
It was a Pacquiao fight. So, yeah, no, that was
That was a different time, and I think he's coming out with a fight right now. I hope he doesn't fight, but whatever. But yeah, he had a big entourage, but he lived kind of humbly when he was over here. Like there'd be like 8 people with him, and then they all stay in like a 2-bedroom apartment. But he had a lot of money. He gave a lot back to the Philippines.
Yes,
he has his beliefs, which had him cut ties with certain organizations, and although we may not agree in his belief, like the impact he had as an athlete and the impact he had as an athlete cannot be overshadowed. But shout out to Manny Pacquiao. Man, he's been a Pac-Man. Oh, there was a bad moment to where I have a lot of friends who are Latino. I have a lot of friends who are Mexican, where they were calling him the Mexicutioner, and I was like, yo. This is wild. This is wild. This is not no, this is not okay because it shouldn't be that funny. Right. It's terrible, dog. It's terrible.
It's pretty bad.
Shout out to Manny Pacquiao.
Okay, so going back to comedy. Now this one is probably a lesser known Filipino comedian, but he did have his start here in the U.S., which is Rex Navarrete.
Woo! Shout out to Rex.
Like I knew of him growing up. I had CDs, burnt CDs of his comedy show, but you know I still supported him. He did perform in a lot of colleges around the Bay Area.
Yeah. I think his special was at State, right?
Right.
The special, it's a white cover. I forget what it's called, but shout out to Rex. Yeah.
He had a DVD special.
Strong college tour. Yeah.
So like, I loved his jokes growing up because he also did jokes specifically around Daly City, which is where I grew up.
Yeah.
So it definitely felt like hearing the Filipino jokes, hearing that it's also like some stories were from comedic stories were from my hometown. It just felt good. It just felt good. And then growing up and then hearing other Filipinos from other different places say his jokes, talk about him, and it just made me feel like he's definitely in my top 3 of influential Filipinos in media in my life.
Rex was a true hometown hero. There was a joke that I heard him say a long time ago to where it was recently used in Did I tell you about this? I think I told you
yes.
about yeah. It was recently used in that Joe Coy movie Easter Sunday. It talks about why it's so foggy in Daly City because all the Filipinos are cooking rice. That I heard that joke a long time ago from Rex. I don't want to say that Joe Coy took it, or who knows? There like on the production like Easter Sunday, there's a bunch of writers.
Right.
A lot of people are Filipino get hired, but I heard it was used and it wasn't.
Credited?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. It wasn't. It's like it was a sample, but the sample wasn't cleared.
Right.
So if that truly happened and it wasn't, I heard it wasn't credited. That kind of sucks. But Rex Navarrete is amazing comedian. He's you'll catch him here around the Bay Area. Super cool dude.
Right. But and not to slight Joe Coy. Joe Coy is still a great.
Yeah.
He's still a great comedian. I was lucky enough that just before the pandemic started, before we all got locked down and put away for a couple of years at home, I was able to attend one of his shows in downtown San Francisco. So it was great to see him perform live, to say his jokes. He had some kick-ass music.
Yeah. He knows how to. Joe Coy knows how to rock an event. Like I caught a live show and it was inside the it was inside San Jose State in a
Oh, okay.
It wasn't in an arena, but it was big. It was there was a lot of us, and I was there with your two aunts and your other uncle. Yeah, we were there. we were in the building, and that was 2019. It was right before COVID. Yeah. Right before COVID. It was. He's to me. He's funnier in person because you get to catch all of it. Like when you watch something on DVD and when you watch Netflix, whatever, you only catch what's
the good cuts that they had. But when you get to see a whole performance live, nothing else compares to it, honestly. Unless if they actually give you just a straight raw performance. You know,
raw performances are intense. But shout out to Rex Navarrete.
Yeah.
Shout out to
Rex Navarrete and Joe Coy.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Something you touched on that I want to swing back to is our Filipino culture. I think upstairs you're talking to Mish and you said, or was it her or was it you? It was like, we're religious, but yet as Filipinos, we're religious, but we're also superstitious.
Yes, I did say that. And it's, growing up, I felt that, honestly. Like, when I would go to the Philippines, like, there's so many, like, every house that I visited had one section of the house. You had Santo Niño, Virgin Mary, and, a huge cross.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Right? But also at the same time, like, you would have family members, screwing with you about, like, the different, folklore legends of the different monsters that exist, and for those, a little educational thing, aswang isn't a specific monster. It's literally the Filipino word for monster.
Really?
Yes, there are many different type of aswang. But the most noted aswang is the manananggal.
So manananggal is a version of the aswang.
Is one of the aswang.
Okay.
So one type.
Because the aswang, like the Funko Pop aswang, from what I understand, that is the one that has the long, skinny tongue.
Right.
That will eat the fetus.
Right.
Right? That's what okay.
So it's kind of, because what you're thinking of, that aswang, the one that we had featured in another video, which will be released, that one with the long tongue is actually called, I believe, a tik-tik, if I'm remembering right.
Check us, Filipinos. We don't know anything. We're definitely Filipino Americans. Right. Check us. Let us know.
Yeah, it's kind of interesting how, like, the whole phrase of, like, tao po. It's basically a nice way of saying, are you a person, right?
Tao po. Like, Are you someone, sir?
Right. Are you someone or are you like
Tao
not
po.
someone?
Oh.
You know, that's like the kind of origin of reason why they say tao po. You know,
I thought it was tabi tabi.
tabi tabi means sorry.
Or like, excuse me,
Yeah, excuse me.
Tabi tabi po.
So tabi tabi po is what you say when you go to a cemetery and you have to either like cross over or step on.
It could be a cemetery. It could be if you're in the forest. You could be in a very like very woodsy, a very natural that's not inhabited by human
Humans.
areas to let like, hey, we're crossing. We're just gonna
I'm sorry.
pass. Yeah, sorry. I don't want to step on anything.
Right.
So just letting you know we pulling up.
All right.
That part freaked me out.
Yeah.
That part of like that Filipino culture. Oh my gosh,
Especially going to the province where my dad's from. Ooh, like I was scared to just like if none of my family is going in that area, I will not.
Like, you guys go first. You guys go first.
If I don't see them walking in that area, I am not going there.
Yeah.
I am not leaving their site. Nothing.
You guys go first.
It's like one of the things that my parents would say is just like, you know, be careful around people. Don't let them know that you're American and don't speak English. I mean, but you know, they're more worried about kidnappers. No, I'm worried about the monsters that live in the Philippines.
Monsters in the Philippines is a big deal.
Yeah.
And as you know, as much as we're Filipino Americans and we're like, I never want us to forget that part of our culture.
No.
That there's times I Google that shit on YouTube and I just let it play and it has like AI drawings of what they think it looks like, and it describes like the different features and you know what makes them unique and their superpowers and stuff, and it's very interesting, and it's one thing that I've noticed though, because this is something I've always paid attention to. One thing that I noticed throughout every culture that I know, there is always like a duende like presence.
Yeah.
Like in the Hawaiian culture, it's menehunis, right? In Irish culture, they're leprechauns.
Yes.
In the Filipino culture, they're duendes. In Norwegian culture, they're gnomes.
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
In the English culture, what are they called? Elves or
Elves are kind of goblinish.
yeah.
Just basically smaller creatures that can fuck up your day if you're not careful.
Yeah. And they're in every culture. Like they're in the Latin culture too. I think they use duendes as well. Mm-hmm. They're in the Latin culture as well, and it's something that it doesn't like. I cannot not believe it because every culture has their version
of it. Right?
You know what I mean? Like every culture has a version of it. So as much as we say it's a fairy tale, you know what I mean?
It all stemmed from somewhere.
Yeah, it started somewhere. So I'm not saying it. I don't want to say it doesn't exist. I'm just saying I don't know.
Right.
I don't know.
I've subscribed to the whole. It's a possibility.
Yeah.
It's a strong possibility. Do I want to test it? Hell no.
Nah.
Will I ever test it?
Nah.
No.
Nah. You know.
But will I respect it? Hell
Absolutely.
Yes.
Absolutely.
100%.
Absolutely.
I will respect it and make sure that I do not disrespect anything that could mess me up supernaturally.
Love. We don't know. It is 2025 and they're finally releasing more and more UFO footage. Mm-hmm. So anything is possible at this point. So just be cool. Just be cool, guys. Yeah.
We're also getting more and more technology every day.
Yeah. And that's kind of creepy. Mm-hmm.
So technology that can help, with kind of gathering evidence of these things.
Have you ever asked AI like a question like that? Like, hey, do aliens exist?
No, I have not. But we could do a video of that.
Oh, that's a good one.
Let us know.
That's a good one. I think that's a good pull.
Right?
Or if we ask them if they know what like a manananggal is or a aswang. That'd be a deep cut. I don't know. Be cool, guys. Just be nice to things. Be nice to people. Just be cautious.
Just be nice.
Just be nice, guys. Be nice.
Nice, open-minded, and we all get through this together.
I think we get close it out on that note.
Yeah.
Closing words for you.
Let's see. Well, let's end it the Filipino way. Mabuhay.
Mabuhay. Absolutely. I'm so proud of this kid right here. I've been spending a lot more time with him as of lately, and he's helped me out a lot. And you're gonna see a lot more of this kid. He has a lot to share. He has a lot to, I don't want to say prove, but he has a lot to provide. He has a lot to give, and he's very knowledgeable. And I'm excited to see what's gonna happen with young Gio here. And on that note,
Family.
Toretto. It's pretty good, right?
Oh yeah.
It's okay. Boom.